What if the part of you you've spent your whole life hiding is the very part that could save you? Since childhood, you were taught to fear your anger, your ambition, your hunger. You were taught that desire makes you selfish, that intensity makes you dangerous, that confidence makes you arrogant. So you dimmed your light to fit in. You bit your tongue. You buried the parts of yourself that didn't seem acceptable. And what did you get in return? Exhaustion, frustration, emptiness. Because deep down you knew something essential was missing. Not from the world, from you. What was missing was your shadow. The part of you that doesn't want to be controlled. The part that refuses to beg for permission to exist. The part that doesn't care about being nice, only about being real. Carl Jung once said that the shadow is everything within us that we do not wish to see, but ignoring it doesn't make it go away. In fact, the more you suppress it, the more control it has over you. The angrier you get at your own anger, the more it erupts when you least expect it. The more you deny your pride, the more it controls your choices. The more you reject your darkness, the more it haunts you. And this is why most people live in quiet misery. They think they're good because they've buried everything that makes them strong. But goodness without power is weakness dressed up as virtue. Niceness without boundaries is self-betrayal in a mask. If you want to be whole, if you want to live with integrity, clarity, and strength, you need your shadow, not as an enemy to destroy, but as a part of you to integrate. The shadow is not evil. It is power, unacknowledged. Fire, unlit. Potential, unclaimed. Look at any figure in history who shaped the world. Artist, general, leader, thinker. None of them were harmless. They were dangerous. But they had mastered that danger. They had learned to channel it, not suppress it, not deny it, but use it. And so can you. Your dark side holds your ability to say no when the world demands your obedience. It holds your ability to walk away when a situation insults your soul. It holds the spine to face judgment, rejection, failure, and keep walking. Without this, you'll always bend, always shrink, always wait for someone else to save you. But when you embrace your dark side, you realize you don't need to be saved. You only need to stop hiding from yourself. Think of the moments in your life when you felt fully alive, fully honest, fully you. I guarantee they weren't when you were being polite. They were when you were clear, when you said what had to be said, did what had to be done, and refused to play small. That was your shadow stepping forward, not to destroy, but to protect, to guide, to remind you that survival and authenticity are not the same. Most people confuse repression with discipline. They think virtue means shutting down every desire, censoring every impulse. But real discipline is directed fire. It's knowing what you're capable of and choosing to use it wisely. A sword is only dangerous when it's never been sharpened. Once honed, once mastered, it becomes a tool, not for harm, but for clarity. The same is true of you. You cannot be truly good if you've never faced your capacity for harm. You cannot be truly free if you're still enslaved by the parts of yourself you pretend don't exist. Freedom comes from ownership. It comes from standing in front of the mirror and saying, yes, I can be cruel, I can be selfish, I can be proud, angry, envious, but I choose not to be. Not because I'm scared of being bad, but because I have something better to build. This is shadow integration, and it changes everything. Because now when someone disrespects you, you don't shrink, you respond. Not with rage, but with grounded presence. When life tests you, you don't collapse, you adapt. You don't need the approval of strangers to act in alignment with your values. You don't need permission to walk your path. You become sovereign. The shadow gives you the power to be alone, to stand without applause, to walk into conflict when necessary, and walk away when it's not worth your energy. It gives you emotional immunity. You stop being ruled by shame, by fear, by the need to explain yourself. You stop apologizing for existing. But this isn't about becoming a tyrant. It's not about using your shadow to dominate others. Quite the opposite. It's about reclaiming your own life so you no longer need to dominate anyone. People who are at war with themselves will always try to control others. But people who've made peace with their shadow, they lead. Quietly, confidently, from within. So how do you begin this process? Start by noticing the feelings you've been taught to reject. What angers you? What embarrasses you? What traits in others do you judge the most harshly? These are clues. Triggers are windows into the shadow. They show you where your mask is still tight. Then, ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to protect? Often, what looks like arrogance is just a deep need for recognition. What looks like anger is a boundary being crossed. What looks like selfishness is a hunger for rest in a world that only values productivity. Next, give yourself permission to use your shadow. Not as an excuse to harm, but as a compass. Let it speak in private. Let it shape your decisions. Ask it what it wants, and listen. And finally, act from wholeness. Don't just be kind. Be strong and kind. Don't just be humble. Be proud and humble. Let the light and the dark sit at the same table. That is where real maturity begins. If this message resonates with you, then it's time to stop hiding. Time to stop performing. Time to reclaim what you lost when you tried to be acceptable. Like this video if you feel seen. Comment "I reclaim my shadow" if you're ready to stop playing small. Subscribe and turn on notifications if you're ready for more truths the world doesn't want you to hear. Because this channel is not for the tame. It's for those who are tired of being tame. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You only need to be whole. And wholeness requires darkness. Not to consume you, but to complete you. Embrace it. Not someday. Now.